with the Vikings. And hopefully this harassment can do something for him. He is able to pick off 1-2 Mutalisks. And you definitely want to keep those mutant numbers down. But with all those lings, I think he is definitely going to clean this up no problem. And yes, he is. Look at that. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Very nice play by Yaz. Able to control that. Able to keep control of all of his bases. We're looking at a 4-base, well, 3-base technically, Zerg, because they haven't destroyed these rocks yet. And it looks like, what was this? It looks like Yaz is going to make a push. And I'm wondering, is he going to go around to the side and try to take out this base that's mining? Or maybe he's just going to go for this base right here, which is the easiest one to attack. Either play would be good at this point, I think. But if he does go over for this base, it is kind of splitting his army, spreading his army far away from his, and he has no defenses right now for his base. So yeah, so playing the safe play and going for this 4th base, trying to take it out before Yaz is able to take control of the minerals. And while it does no immediate economic damage, it does keep Yaz on 3 bases, which is definitely a good play by HotS. He wants to try to control his economy, which is running out of control, but he's gonna need to do a lot more than this. Like, I mean, this is not a big hit for Yaz right now. Losing this base is next to nothing, and look at Yaz coming in here, gonna do some harassment in the meantime, and he sees that HotS has built another base, and he is gonna be going for a 3rd expansion soon to try to catch up, and this is exactly what HotS needs to do. He needs to harass and catch up on the macro at the same time. Meanwhile, look at these troops positioning around. He's going to be... Oh, man. He's positioning all around, and this is exactly what he needs to do. He's spreading his troops all around in a circle around this army right here, and he's losing this base, but he's letting it happen because he knows that he is ahead in economy. He's on 3 bases, and now he's going to probably push in and wipe this army out, and this is... I really like this positioning. All you Zerg players, look at it. Here it comes. Moving in here, wiping this out, and man, I just love when I'm able to call stuff like that. I have not seen this game yet, I promise. But that was a perfect play, and I know myself I've been playing quite a bit of Zerg recently, and I love doing things like that when you know exactly, and it's the perfect play. It's what you want to do, especially against Terran using siege tanks, because Terran, when they use siege tanks, they have to sit in one spot, and it gives you time to spread your troops around them, position them just right. And I would have even maybe spread out the Mutalisks into 2 groups and come in from 2 angles at once, although that's not so important considering there were no Thors on the field. He was able to pull them in all at once, but he was smart. He brought in the Zerglings, move a little bit faster than the Banelings, able to get in there first, soak up some of that fire from the siege tanks. Since they're coming from all angles, it really spreads out the damage, not a lot of splash damage, and the Banelings are able to hit the Marines, and bringing in the Mutalisks just a little bit later, so the Marines don't pick up the Mutalisks first, and just able to clean that up so nicely. Meanwhile, it looks like HotS trying to do some fancy micro here, trying to keep away from these Banelings. He does not want to get destroyed, coming back to the cover fire of these siege tanks, but HotS just does not have the army composition that he needs right now against this, and this is it. All Yaz has to do is spread his units out to keep away from the splash damage, able to clean up that army completely. And at this point, HotS just has nothing left to answer to this, and he's trying to expand here, and he has expanded this base, but this base is completely vulnerable now and has no defenses. Let's check the production tab real quick. Oops, not the pause button, the production tab, there we go. And we see more upgrades on the way for Yaz. He already has level 1 attack for his air units. He's getting level 1 carapace for his ground units, which I believe already have level 2. He's cleaning up he has enough Mutalisks. I mean, I don't think I would have risked losing that many, but just not really caring, able to come in here, and I guess he didn't want to lose Zerglings to the planetary fortress, and that's actually a very smart play. Positioning very nicely. Ooh, and look at all these Marines coming in. A very nice play from HotS, able to come in here and push this back and able to retain control of this planetary fortress. And so, as I was saying, it was really nice building these turrets right next to the planetary fortress so the Zerglings can't get this around. Now he's putting them a little bit out. I think I would tuck them in just a teeny bit closer, but I guess he wants to protect these siege tanks right here, which I cannot say is a bad play. And so planetary fortress, 2 siege tanks, and 2 missile turrets going to be able to hold this for now. But with the income right now, let's check it out real quick. Yeah, we're looking at still just a huge income advantage with 87 harvesters over 52 in favor of Yaz, and Yaz just moving out. We're able to look at how quickly he was able to rebuild that army. And meanwhile over here, what's morphing over here? Tons of Banelings morphing right now. And let's check that production tab again. Level 2 ground carapace. We have level 2 attack already for the Zerglings. And I mean, 50 Zerglings were just under production. 50. That's right, guys. 50 Zerglings under production at once. We're looking at the macro that comes from a 5 base Zerg. 5 base, almost completely fully saturated. 87 of this supply is workers for Yaz. 87 supply. So that means that he's just going to be able to throw a 100 supply army after 100 supply army at HotS over and over and over again as his 87 workers just reaping the benefits of that, going for level 2, able to get full upgrades. And meanwhile, I mean, it's just, look at this harassment continuing from all of these Mutalisks. So many Mutalisks right now, and he's not even using his Banelings and Zerglings yet. And look at all these Mutalisks down here as well, and harassing, like, I mean, as far as HotS know, this is Yaz's full army. But this is the power of the Zerg, the power of Zerg when they're able to expand, just able to throw away units and not even worry about it. This missile turret gonna be destroyed unless this worker is able to get over here and do something about it. But I think that HotS is just preoccupied with trying to go back and resaturate this base now, rebuilding up, trying to protect this base. The Zerg watching this base to make sure he doesn't expand again. And we're just, once again, we're talking about 5 base. And look at this, adrenal glands going down, gonna turn these lings into cracklings. And Zerg flyer attack level 2, and ground attack level 3 going up. And once again, I wanted to check this here. He's pushing out. But look at level 2, so he was able to get some upgrades. That's very nice for him, and level 1 upgrades for his tanks and stuff. But he's just not going to be able to compete, even if. And look at this, just completely wiping this army out. And I'm expecting the GG. Yeah, and there is the GG from HotS. And I just wanted to say, even if HotS was able to completely wipe out this entire army of Yaz right here in that attack right there, it still wouldn't have mattered. We're talking about a 5 base Zerg at this point. And if we look at the income tab, we see clearly that the income, well, that must be because of mules. Let's check real quick and see if there's some mules out there. Reason why he's doing so well. Yeah, look at this, dropping 5 mules. So without these mules, we're talking probably about 500 less income. So Yaz is just reaping in the benefits. And throughout the whole game, his losses, I mean, let's check real quick and look at the units lost tab. So they were relatively even, although no, these numbers are pretty high. 20,000 no, I can't read. Help me out, guys, here. I can't read. 2,000 resources worth less lost by Yaz. And so, I mean, that's not a huge difference in a full, what's a 23-minute game. That's not a huge difference, but considering the fact that Yaz was ahead in income for the entire game, that is quite enormous. And that's basically where HotS kind of lost here. He was not able to keep the map control. He tried this kind of early harassment here that failed. And from that point on, he was on the defensive. He made a couple of smart moves with his drops, and one poor control here. In fact, when he dropped these units here, and he didn't push them in really quickly, that was a time when he could have picked off like 5, 6, maybe more drones before the army of Yaz was able to pull up. And so the timing on that, I think if he had played it right, if he had put a dropship here, and then commanded them both to drop at the same time, so that he had, and moved these units in as quickly as possible. In fact, I might have even dropped this directly on the line right here, a little bit closer, so that he was able to harass both at once, forcing Yaz to split his troops. But HotS was not able to do that. It was still a very good play, and I definitely know. I mean, I'm being very nitpicky. These guys are a lot better than I am, and HotS played a lot better against Yaz than I could ever imagine that I would be able to play. But if we're going to be nitpicky, we're going to be nitpicky, and we are going to point out these little things, so that hopefully our viewers can get their game a little bit better. And that's the thing, the timing on these things and stuff like that is just so crucial. And I think by the time Yaz was able to pick up this base, the game was pretty much downhill from there. And the contain was solid from Yaz throughout the whole game. Very good game by both players. I'm well impressed. And I'm hoping to cast some more games like this weekend. So that's it for Zerg for this weekend. And stay tuned to my channel, as I will be casting some more games over the course of the weekend and uploading them. And we should have, like as I mentioned before, 3 to 4 games before the end of the weekend. So I'll see you guys really soon.